another week, another narrow loss. And at this point, I feel like I've just come to expect nothing less. When the game gets close, it gets tough. We just can't seem to find a way to battle through it and actually win the game. I mean, you go back a few years and that's exactly what we used to do. But obviously, as of recent, we can't seem to clinch these close ones. It doesn't matter who it's against, where it is. Doesn't matter. It really seems to play no part in it anymore. It's like once the pressure's on and it's a tight game, we can't get the job done. And it's as simple as that. But look, it was an interesting game to look at. I don't know, at the time, I actually thought it wasn't too bad. Watching the replay, I thought, oh, geez, it was actually a little bit more boring than I thought it was at first glance. So I'll get into that quickly. Obviously, the first quarter was where we lost the game, I think. It was, pretty one-sided in the first, and I just thought we didn't really do anything to stop their momentum, stop their flow. We had no answer for what they were doing. And then, the second quarter rolls around, and I thought we dominated the play the whole quarter. I thought definitely our quarter, we're all over them, we're hunting the ball, getting it forward. But again, missing easy shots on goals. The connection inside 50 wasn't quite there. But I do think it was the inaccuracy that really hurt us. I know Port missed a lot of goals as well. I mean, they kicked 17 behinds. We kicked 13. But maybe I'm wrong. Probably should look at the stats a bit more closely. But I think Port had a lot more rush behinds than we did, where a lot of ours were just genuine misses, which hurt. Because the opportunity was there to not only get the lead, but, maybe make it hard for them to come back even. Because we had a lot of the play in that second quarter. So, again, disappointing. Third quarter rolls around, and I don't know. It felt sloppy. The rain came down, mind you, and that was never going to make the game any better. But the game just felt sloppy. There's a lot of turnovers. It felt dull. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It felt real dull. And in the last quarter, again, Port seemed to be in complete control, even though we were sort of teetering and thereabouts. We only lost by 10 points, so we weren't far off, but we felt a bit further off than I think we were, and the scoreboard reflected. So maybe that was lucky. Maybe I'm seeing it different than everybody else. I'm not too sure, but it was it was an interesting one. It was a weird game. I wasn't over the moon with it. Obviously, Tim Taranto, absolute star. Like, I don't have to talk too much about him. I know he's been hyped up everywhere already, but with his 33 disposals, 4 goals, he was efficient this week as well, so no one can question that. He's doing everything he can. He couldn't have done much more, during the game. And I mean, you look at, we had so many opportunities to break the game open. I think Dusty kicks 1 goal, 3. Shea Bolton, I think, maybe similar scoreline. Like, they kicked straighter. Jack kicks his one directly in front of goal. Like, it's little moments like that would have really put us in good stead and given us a good opportunity to take the lead and, win the game. But it's these opportunities we're missing, and they're really starting to hurt us. I think our backline held up pretty well, like reasonably well. I've been pretty happy with that backline most of the season. I can't argue with it too much. I thought Noah Bolter did a pretty reasonable job. Daniel Rioli, as per, like he looks like he gets injured a bit. I don't know if it's his calf, but it's been a few games this year I've seen him like limping around, but he doesn't go off. And then he stays on. He looks fine by the end of it. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, if it's cramping or what it is. But thought he was all right again. Nick Vostone going out as a laid out for the game really hurt us. I thought we lost that intercepting defender. And he provides such a big role for us. But again, similar to the Essendon game, I forgot to mention this. Port had some massive outs, and these are the chances we need to take as these scalps to just get the wins on the board and give us a chance going forward. I mean, you look at the blokes that were missing, and I think off the top of my head, Dixon, Boak, Marshall, like important players to their list, like very important players. And I think if they're in the team for Port, I mean, I know we've got players missing as well. Like, I'm not taking that away from us. But if these guys are in the side on the weekend, it's a completely different game. So really, and the same with Essendon last week. We lost by a point to the Bombers, and they were missing like 4 or 5 really important players as well. So it's hard dishing this up. And then as the title of the video or the thumbnail showed, where are we at? And I wanted to talk about that more than the game itself, because the game itself, we can talk about all we want, getting the stats, etc., but we're not quite there. I don't think we're quite there, and that's probably where we're at, in terms of the season as a whole. I mean, you see these games, we're so close. We're in just about every game we've been. Like, the Sydney game's the biggest blowout we've had all year, but at three-quarter time, we're right in that game. So we're in every game of football we play, but there's something missing that we just can't get over the line, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know how to put my finger on it. Yes, I know there's disposal and inside 50 connections that hurt us all game long, but there's something that when it comes down to it in that last quarter, when we need a lift, we just can't seem to find a way. And I don't think we're quite there. I mean, I've been pretty bullish on the season. I keep thinking you know, it's still 12 games to go. We're every chance. If we win a few, get a few ones here, and here, we can. But we're not even getting those little wins that I think that we should be. And I don't know. It's hard to say where you find your next win, because I thought Essendon was not. You know, I thought Essendon was a guaranteed win. You look at the players they were missing, the form we coming off from the game before with Geelong, the win against Geelong. I thought, you know, they're not going to stop us. And then look what happens, you know. And in the Port Adelaide game, I remember thinking during the second quarter, I reckon we might roll these boys today. And again, like, it just, I don't, in terms of where we're at, I think it's almost like we're basically just filling a spot on the ladder. Like, I don't think we're going to make the 8, as harsh as that may sound. I think the list we've got is capable of doing it, but the way that we're playing and what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I really hope I'm wrong. Like, I want us to, without doubt, obviously that goes without saying, but what we're dishing up at the moment isn't convincing me. So I'm hoping we can find something to turn that around. We've obviously got Minnie McWalter there as our new coach, or the new interim head coach, whatever you want to call him. Will he pull something out of the hat? I don't know. It's going to be a long watch, and we've got a tough couple of games coming up now. 2 away games in a row. Giants at the Giants Stadium, Freo over at Optus, who have been playing good football the last couple of weeks. Both those sides, like, Giants just beat Geelong in Geelong. Like, nobody does that. So big challenges, big challenges coming up. And you know, Tom Lynch isn't anywhere near coming back. And I know a lot of people are saying he's going to be the fix to all our problems. And look, he'll fix a lot, definitely. But I don't think he's the be-all, end-all. There's something else missing right now. I'm not quite sure what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But in terms of where we're at, I don't think we're not ready to bottom out or rebuild, whatever you want to call it. I don't think we're quite there. Or I don't think we're there by any means. I think we're better than that. But this year, unless we can find that spark and regenerate for the back half of the season, I don't see us playing finals. And I see us, you know, anywhere between, you know, 13th to 9th, like anywhere in that vicinity. Any bets will win a few late ones and give all of us hope, and then we just fall short. It wouldn't surprise me. I could see it happening. And a lot of our games feel dull as well. Like, there's not as much exciting football as what I've seen in the past. And even that Geelong game only a couple of weeks ago, that was exciting. It was our brand. It was Richmond footy. And you think, geez, if we do this, we're back this season. And then it was a flash in the pan almost. So it's been 2 weeks since then, and I haven't seen even a glimpse of what we saw against Geelong. So we can find it. There was no doubt we can find it again, but I don't know where it's coming from or where it will come from. But hopefully we find it sooner rather than later. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts were in the game. Obviously, Tim Taranto was a star. I thought Dion Prestia, I hate player bashing, and it's not quite what I'm doing, but I feel like I haven't noticed him much in the last few weeks. And when he has an impact, it really benefits the team. Like, when he plays well, Richmond play well, and we more often than not we win. And you know, you've seen that over the years and in recent times when Prestia plays well, Richmond win. And you know, imagine you got Dion Prestia having a blinder alongside Tim Taranto doing what he did on the weekend. I don't see us losing that game. So, not saying he is, you know, he's the only one. There's obviously others around him that need to step up as well. But you know, I think what we've come to expect from Dion is more than what we're getting at the moment. So, but who knows? He could be niggling injuries. Like, we just don't know, because of the way our list is shaping up at the moment with the injuries we have. He might be playing through something. So I don't know. I'm not here to critique. I'm just here to give what I'm seeing. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. So anyway, it's going to be an interesting week. It's going to be an interesting rest of the season. We're halfway through just about. I think we've got round 12 this week, and after that, well, that's it. That's the halfway point this weekend. So it's going to be another long back half of the year. But look, like I said, I still think we're a chance if we can find that spark again. But we've got to find it, and it's going to be this week. It's going to be next week. Like, we can't afford to drop many more games, and that's just as simple as it is. We've dropped too many. We've only had 3 wins for the season, and it's not good enough. So we need to find them from somewhere, hopefully, like I said, sooner rather than later. But look, that's all I've got for today's video. Until the Giants preview, do what you got to do to enjoy the week, get through. But until then, go Tigers.